Hi, Bo here from High Tech Investment, and welcome back to the channel where we once again are ready for another 4-week review. So basically going back every single week and having a look at those past 4 weeks, exactly how the profit retriever responds, and basically profits every single week. We have now been trading the profit retriever for more than 500 days. It is incredibly stable. Obviously, from time to time, it goes into a drawback, and that's exactly also why you need to have a look at this particular video here, because it shows which ones are the ones that are cashing in the best from week to week, always looking 4 weeks back, which gives a lot better picture of the stability of the EA itself. Obviously, we are adjusting to the markets from time to time. You have to with the profit retriever. It is definitely not a set and forget EA here. But that's also what we like about it. We can adjust it to our liking, to our risk appetite, things like this. And obviously also in here, we will show you exactly how you can do the same thing. Basically, we are showing our results, how we are doing things, and the profits and the risk that is coming out of all this. And then you can decide if you want to do something similar. It is entirely up to you. But definitely this particular week here has been another good week. We have a couple of new ones actually jumping in from around the 15-16 position, and one of them is actually a long missing silver. It has been in a drawdown for quite a few months, and it finally came out. We also had one of the US 30 ones that was out for a while on the top 10. That one is also back in again. There is, as always, a massive battle in between number about 8 to 15 here, where they are cashing in all the time, and it's only small minute changes in between them that actually makes it up if they reach the top 10 or not. Well, let's get started on the top 5 results for the week. And basically we have the silver, as you can see here, on top with $788 or 7.9%. So very nice to see this one back up here. Aussie 200, also another index that has been in a drawdown, but don't forget, I mentioned that quite a few times, especially the indexes and metals, they can go into a drawdown for a week or two, and then they come back and cash in quite nicely. And as you can see, the Aussie 200 index here, $478 or 4.8%, so definitely on the high side. US 30 number 2 also in here with $417 or 4.2%. And then we have the only forex pair for the top 5 for the week is Aussie Japanese number 2, and that is normally either that one or the original signal, $288 or 2.9%. And then the US 30, 276 or 2.8%. Overall, if you would have traded those top 5 results here for the past week, you would have made $2,247 or 4.5%. And that is slightly lower than what we have seen last week. But at the moment, we know that it is still summertime. July and August is renowned, and we saw that also last year, for having lower profits overall. Now you can obviously find a lot more details in here, as I mentioned earlier in the video. You can see the individual weeks when you go to our website. That is some of the first things that is actually popping out on that particular site. And you also have our last 4 videos, similar to the one we are shooting here now. So you get a very good feel for what is happening every single week, and you can then pair that up with what exactly you want to trade and which ones you don't want to trade. On top of this, we also have the monthly reviews where we go in and have a look at the top 5, which ones are the ones that are producing best results on a monthly basis. And right below there, you have our big 25 EA portfolio of profit retrievers that has been trading, some of them for more than 500 days. That particular portfolio overview here, you can see the individuals, you can see them all together, you can see the drawdowns, and you can see the profits, which has been quite massive over time. As you can imagine here, we are coming up to about 250,000 profit from the original 25 accounts of 10,000. Again, this is not the balance, because the balance is already more than 500,000 here now, but is the equity. But as always with the profit retriever, the drawdown is a bit on the heavy side. So we haven't managed to get to 500,000 yet when you look at the equity. But definitely we will make a video on that, hopefully in the next month or two. Part of this is also you can go on the individuals, and right below where you saw all the other details here, you have the individual FXBlue accounts that you can then pick and choose from. You can have a closer look at exactly how well they are doing, how many open trades they had, what they did in the past. It is all there. Nothing is hidden from you in these particular videos here. And that is also why I believe people like to have a look at some of these videos when they want to trade the profit retriever, because we have quite a lot of information and data now with so many days, months, and even years here now of trading. But what is it all about? Well, it's again about the top 10 results. So let's jump over and have a look and see exactly what results we get from this week's top 10. So this week's top 10 has been once again extremely good and very, very stable. As I mentioned here before, we do have a couple of signals coming in. It's not because some of the other ones are not really doing so well. It's simply because some of them have basically excelled in the last couple of weeks and now pushing some of the other ones out. But if we start off, we have on the left-hand side here, again, number 1 to 10, we have the individual Forex pairs, metal indexes. We have the links. So if you want to use the Expert Forex copy link service, those are the links that you need to go and look for. And then we have last week's results, if they are moving up and down. You can see a lot of them staying in the same position this particular week. We have 3 that are moving forward from 11, 15, and 16, and 1 that basically moved backwards from 4 all the way down to 8. Then we have the 4 weeks that we're going to be looking at through this video here, and then the total sum with total percentage, and then also we're going to get back to the top 5 here. But let's start off with last week's number 1, also this week's 129C. It's the Aussie Japanese number 2. As you can see, it has been cashing in quite well. It will drop down a bit, I believe, next week when week 31 here is going to pass away. But obviously still 595, 384, 288. Obviously total sum of 2,756 in the past 4 weeks. That is quite incredible, with 27.57% overall just for 4 weeks or almost 1 month. So definitely that is on the top chart still, but obviously, as we mentioned, they most probably will drop down a bit. The Aussie Japanese, the other link, 98C here, was also number 2 last week. And again here in hard battle with number 3. But at the moment, week 31 was the slowest one of them all. Week 32 even better. And then we can see overall it came out with $1,498 or 14.99%. And then closely followed by the US 30. We already know, and I mentioned in the past, that sometimes this goes into a drawdown, but you will actually see that we don't have a drawdown in the past 4 weeks on link 53C. It was number 3 last week, and it was only short of about $40 overall. And once this week 31 with the $18 goes away, it might be able to move up 1 or 2 positions. Definitely 371 for week 32. Had a massive cash in on week 33 with 792, and then back down to 275. So that is very much the nature of the US 30 index. Most of the time we ended up with $1,458 or 14.58%. So definitely also very much approved. Happy to have the silver back again. So link 17C, very, very old signal here. It was number 16 last week, and now you can see it's moving forward. Week 31, it was actually cashing in with 555. Then it had a bit of a drawdown, came out of the drawdown in week 33, only with $36. And then all of a sudden, it is very much up again here with 788. Made it into the number 1 position on the top 5. And then overall, for the 4 weeks, $1,180 or 11.81%. So definitely it's going to be interesting to see also if that can basically compete with the US 30 index over the next couple of weeks. The last one in the top 5 is the British Pounds USD, link 73C. Also a very old link here. It was number 5 last week, again this week. And you can also see why it cashes in all the time, 275, 231, 332, 169. And overall, the last of the top 5 ended up with $1,009 or 10.09%. And if we have a look at the top 5 overall here on the side, we can see that if you would have traded those 5 in the past 4 weeks, you would have made $7,904 or 15.81%. This is a bit lower than what we have seen in the past weeks. We have been up around the $9,000 mark, but definitely for just 5 signals in here, making up 7,900, definitely it is one of the really stable results when it's actually not working so well. Euro USD number 6 is linked 126C. It was number 6 last week and again this week here. Also this one here shows a lot of stability with $312, 206, 269, 111. Overall ended up with $900 or 9%. So definitely a good stable results overall. Number 7 is another one, high jumper. That is the US 30 index. Also here, the number 2 signal we have. It was number 15 last week, and you can see it has been in a drawdown for week 31, 32, coming out of it again, and then simply just cashing in week on week, 426, 417. And just for those 2 weeks in part, it was basically in 7th position with $843 or 8.44%. So definitely one to look out for. That one will also move further up again, I believe. Number 8 is the Euro New Zealand, link 56C. Also an extremely old one that has been running for more than a year. Again, also here cashing in nicely for week 31, 435, which was the highest. And then it has some mixed results for week 32, 147, then 200. And then week 34, it was a bit low, 56 only. But we've seen that on quite a few. For week 34, it wasn't one of the best weeks, but still we end up with $840 or 8.4%. So again, very close race all the way through. Also this one here, number 9, the FTSE 100. This is also an index, link 101C. It was number 9 last week. Again, this week it is also. Also this one here has something similar to what you have seen on the other indexes, where in week 31, it does very well, 327, 370. And then it has a bit of a low side on week 33 with only $8, coming back again 109. And then overall results here is $815 or 8.16%. So also here, extremely tight race. There is only 20 or 30 bucks in between every single signal you have here. Number 10 for this week. So the lowest ranking one is the British Pounds USD number 2, link number 100C, and that has also been around for quite a while. It was number 11 last week and just moved up 1 spot. And again, this is also extremely stable. It had only $53 though in week 31. After that, it has cashed in quite well, 185, 343, 199. And again here, top 3 ends up with $782 or 7.82% for the entire top 10 in here. So if we have a look at week 31, we can see that $3,434 for week 31, 3.43%. And if we move on, we can see week 32 was a bit on the slow side, dropped again down to $2,747 or 2.75%. After that, week 33 was one of our better ones again, so it seems to go in waves at the moment with 3,258 or 3.26%. And then week 34 very much looks the same as week 32. Again, down in a bit of a valley at the moment, only cashing in $2,645 or 2.65%. But overall, if you would have traded the top 10 results for this particular last 4-week period, the cashing in that you would have done would be $12,085 or 12.09%. And that is definitely something to think about when you want to start trading your Profit Retriever EA. So as I keep saying, the Profit Retriever is cashing in, it is stable, and basically the videos that we have made here definitely proves this. If we have a look at what we have for the past 4 weeks, we can see that week 33 was 13,000. Week 32 was also 13,000, and then week 31 was a bit higher with 14, and then week 30 dropped down to 13,000 again. Obviously now 12,000 that we got in for this particular week here is the lowest we've seen in more than a month. but definitely 10 accounts here where you are trading the EA and you are still getting more than 10% overall. That is definitely approved. And not only is it the profit, we are also very much looking at the stability over time with this EA. And as I mentioned, stability over time, not too many other YouTubers like ourselves have more than 500 days of registered accounts trading, and not just 1 or 2 accounts, but 25 accounts, showing that this is actually possible to make money on the profit retriever itself. And obviously, this is something you have to take into consideration when you are picking which EA you want. You have some that are cashing in 20 or 30% a month, but also there's a big chance that they're going to blow up in your face. Now, this is obviously not trading advice. This is not investment advice. You and you alone are responsible for your own trading. We are simply showing what we are doing with the profit retriever every single week here, which way to go. What we actually find is the best EAs, which are the ones that are most stable, because at the end of the day, it is all about the stability. It is all about cashing in every single week. And we hope that this particular video here can also help you. So to determine which ones you want to actually trade with and which ones you don't, it's entirely up to you. But I hope once again that this has been helpful. If you also have some experience with trading the profit retriever, obviously, we would like to hear from you. So definitely give us a like, give us a comment, and hopefully I'll see you next week again. Bye-bye.